Story 1. Cherry Mahan. The little girl who never made it home from the bus stop. It was a cold afternoon on February 22nd, 1985. Cabot, Pennsylvania peaceful town was going about its usual routine. School children were stepping off their buses and parents were standing at their doorsteps, ready to welcome them home. That same day, 8-year-old Cherry Mahan got off her school bus. She was only 50 feet away from her home. She wore her school jacket, a pair of blue boots, and carried her backpack. Like every other day, she began walking toward her house, but something happened that day, something that should never have happened. Cherry never made it home. After that moment, there was no trace of Cherry. The whole neighborhood searched. The police searched, and later, the entire country joined in the effort, but nothing was found. No shoe, no backpack, no eyewitness. However, one clue did emerge. Some people reported seeing a mysterious van near the bus stop around the time Cherry got off. The van had a mural of snow-covered mountains painted on the side. It was described as either blue or green in color, but that van was never found, nor its driver. Cherry's disappearance was so heartbreaking that it sparked a nationwide effort to find missing children. Her case led to the launch of America's first Have You Seen Me campaign. Millions of flyers, posters, and TV spots featured Cherry's face. But as the years passed, hope began to fade. Then, years later, in 2015 and again in 2018, police received disturbing letters. These letters claimed that Cherry was no longer alive. Some even said she had been murdered and that the killer was still free. Police investigated the letters, but they didn't lead anywhere. To this day, Cherry's case remains a cold case with no suspect, no solid evidence, and no answers. Now, nearly 40 years later, Cherry's mother still looks at every door with hope in her eyes. Could a new lead, a modern piece of technology, or an anonymous witness finally bring the truth to light? If you have any information about Cherry Mahan's disappearance, please contact the Pennsylvania State Police. Do you believe Cherry could still be alive? Or was she the victim of a terrible crime? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more real crime stories, unsolved cases, and investigations in search of justice. Story 2. It was June 2010 when 24-year-old Fanny McFarland suddenly vanished in Phoenix, Arizona. Fanny was a bright, confident, and passionate young woman working as a teacher at a local high school. Her life seemed completely normal, steady job, close family, good friends, and a new relationship. But after the evening of June 16th, she was never seen again. That night, Fanny had called her friend and said she'd be home soon. She had gone out for some shopping. CCTV footage showed her one last time, shopping alone in a store. After that, it was as if she vanished into thin air. Asterisk 2 days later, her car was found abandoned in an empty parking lot. Her purse, phone, and shopping bags were inside the vehicle, but Fenny was missing. At first, the police classified it as a voluntary disappearance of an adult, but her family knew something was very wrong. Asterisk as the investigation moved forward, suspicion began to grow around Feeney's boyfriend, Daniel Rodriguez, a young attorney involved in local politics who was about to run for a city council seat. After her disappearance, his behavior was cold and distant. He gave a public statement claiming he was shocked and praying for her safety, but during questioning, he became evasive, failed polygraph questions, and even lied about his whereabouts. Asterisk some of Feeney's friends told police she had recently hinted at knowing something dangerous, something that could damage Daniel's political future. Was she really protecting a secret? Was that secret the reason she disappeared? Asterisk soon after, police received a tip that led them to a wooded area outside town. There, they discovered a shallow grave with some human remains. At first, it seemed like it might be Fenny, but DNA tests revealed it was someone else. Fenny's trail had gone cold again. Asterisk the community rallied together. A social media campaign began with the hashtag #FindFENI, and thousands of people shared her story. Volunteers searched forests, lakes, and remote roads, but nothing turned up. Daniel Rodriguez went on to win the election, and Feeney's case was moved into the cold case files. Asterisk in 2016, an anonymous letter was mailed to the Phoenix Police Department. It contained only one chilling sentence. Asterisk she knew, and they silenced. Her asterisk there was no signature, no date, nothing else. Asterisk the police took it seriously, but no further progress was made. Feeney's family still waits, still hopes. A mother who prays in front of her daughter's last photo every night. A father who visits the woods every month, searching for something, anything. Asterisk was Fenny silenced because of what she knew? Asterisk was it an accident? Asterisk or is she still alive somewhere, hiding under the weight of a terrible secret? Asterisk to this day, the disappearance of Fenny McFarland remains unsolved, one of America's most haunting modern mysteries, with more questions than answers. Story 3. Cindy James was a nurse from Vancouver, Canada, born in June 1944. She was bright, caring, and had a promising career. Cindy was married to a doctor named Roy Makepeace, but their marriage ended in divorce in 1982. After the divorce, Cindy's life took a terrifying turn. Asterisk, soon after separating from her husband, Cindy began to experience strange and frightening events. She started receiving anonymous phone calls, Threatening notes were left at her home, and she often felt like someone was watching her. Things escalated quickly. Her phone wires were cut, rocks were thrown through her windows, and her pets were harmed. At one point, a fire was set in her basement. Cindy was terrified, but what made her situation worse was that the police did not believe her. They thought she might be making things up. Cindy even found a nylon stocking tied loosely around her neck and once was found semi-conscious in her car with needle marks on her arm. Her hands were tied behind her back in a way that made it seem impossible for her to have done it herself. She repeatedly told police, "I'm going to be killed, and no one will believe me." Feeling helpless, Cindy hired a private investigator named Ozzy Cabin. He believed her story, but was unable to find solid evidence to catch whoever was tormenting her. Over the years, Cindy suffered from multiple mysterious incidents. Sometimes she was found injured in ways that didn't make sense, as if someone was trying to make it look like she was hurting herself, but the injuries were too complex for that. On June 8, 1989, Cindy's worst fear came true. Her body was discovered in a ditch. She was tied up, her hands and feet bound tightly behind her back, with a nylon stocking wrapped around her neck. Toxicology reports showed she had overdosed on morphine and other drugs, yet there were no signs of a struggle, no fingerprints, and no clear cause of death. The question baffled investigators: how could someone tie themselves up after injecting a lethal dose? Many theories have been suggested. Some believe Cindy took her own life, possibly battling mental illness and planning her death carefully. Others think she was murdered by the stalker who had terrorized her for years. Some say she was being gaslighted, manipulated so badly that she doubted her own mind. Her ex-husband was questioned, but no charges were ever made. Despite Cindy reporting over 100 incidents over 7 years, the mystery remains unsolved. Cindy James's case became famous across Canada, reminding police and the public to believe victims, especially when they say they're in danger. Books and documentaries have been made about her, but no answers have been found. Even now, many still wonder what really happened to Cindy. Was she the victim of a cruel stalker? Or was the darkness inside her own mind more dangerous than anything outside? Her story remains one of Canada's most haunting unsolved mysteries.